Oh, that feel good. Damn. Popping my elbow. All right. So I just got off TikTok live. That was fun. Um and I might go live twice today actually. I got a bunch of ideas to talk about. Four dimensions of MMA, MMA making your jiu-jitsu better, stalling in general, shadow boxing. Wow, I never got to talk about the shadow boxing. My ideal weight for jiu-jitsu. Does strength matter? And we also talked about tips to get better at jiu-jitsu. And then I want to add some more stuff. I'll figure out some more stuff to talk about during this live, but I'm gonna let people come in. I need to eat something. Um, I was planning on doing this for like an hour, but I might end up doing it for 30 minutes because I have jujitsu and I like taking a nap before doing jujitsu. But we'll see. Depends on how crazy good and fun this live goes. But yeah, that's the game plan. Hardworking man. Yeah, I want to like I got to start going live more because I explained it, I think last night, but last night the live strangely ended when we started talking about some conspiracy theories. But I I'm getting to that point now where ooh, that felt good, where I just like trying to create content and post these long form videos as an education format. I It's just not my thing. Like I don't like it, you know. Um, it takes a while. I have to think about stuff, and I'm more of a people person. And I feel like maybe live streaming is where it's at for me. I feel like that's like just sitting down. I can answer you guys' questions real time, and that's just hopefully watch suddenly the lives. Just like I have like thousands of people in the lives, and it probably might be hard to. But then I think people are gonna pay for the. I think that's what would happen, right? People would pay for their questions to be answered. But that's where I'm at. But I have today. I got done with boxing practice. I went to the gym in the sauna. I upgraded from 15 minutes to 30 minutes. No, not 30 minutes. Oh God, 20 minutes. I couldn't do 20 minutes the other day. So I went back to my normal 20 minutes. I think I'm about to upgrade it to 25 minutes. I have a fight coming up March 21st. I don't have an opponent yet. These guys are ducking me, but I'm gonna train this time as if there's an opponent coming up because I don't think anybody at this moment is gonna beat me the way I'm studying and training MMA right now. So I need to just keep training. One of my biggest mistakes that I made this year was there was a guy who wanted to fight and I felt like I wasn't ready because my first guy backed out. So I was supposed to fight January 30th. The first guy backed out, and then I started like I let my diet go. And then another fight popped up last minute, and um, I could have like literally, I know I could have won that fight. I know I could have, but instead, like it was so easy to me that I told my homie, one of my training partners, who's also undefeated, and I was like, "Hey, go knock him out, right? Like you could win that fight." He lost the fight. And I hit the dude up like I told the promotion. I said, "Hey, I want this dude now." Like he was supposed to fight me March anyway, because I said let's push the fight March. Was good, David, but he ended up now he's ducking me. He's like, "Oh, I need 3 or 4 or 5 fights before I fight Smitty." And I'm like, "Bro, what the hell you think I'm gonna be doing? I'm gonna be fighting too still. I'm gonna get better. I get better every day. Like I'm a nerd at this shit. What are you talking about? Talking about I need 4 or 5 fights. I'm gonna really be trash. Like, what do you mean? So um, yeah, I'm gonna make sure that I'm on point this time. I'm not gonna duck a. I didn't duck a fade. I just wasn't ready. I stopped working out, and then my training session started being shit. I'm one of those guys. Let me explain y'all. Let me explain something to you guys. I'm one of those training partners. Like I do cool stuff in practice and I show you guys, like I post my stuff online. But um I've always heard my training partners say that when I compete, it's different. I move different. I do things different. You get what I'm saying? Um and that's because I feel like there's a different side that comes out. So for you guys, like, I think I had a video talking about that. It's an unreleased video where I need to write that down too. Beating, let me put that right. Beating your training partners doesn't make you a fighter. Let's talk about that right quick. Beating your training partners that are fighters doesn't make you a fighter. So, you could be in the gym, right? And this guy is a fighter. He fights, right? And you sometimes beat him. You submit him sometimes, right? In the gym. Like you show to be yourself a little bit better than him in the gym sometimes. And some people get the false equivalent of thinking, oh, well, he fights. So maybe because I beat him in training, I'm a fighter too. And that's not true. Because fighting someone that you see every day or training with someone every day, beating someone that you see every day is not the same intensity as fighting a complete stranger. There are things that this person does every day, this stranger, that you're not prepared for. And he's going to throw his best move at you. And like, it's so terrifying sometimes. I've been at the brunt of this where you're going against someone and he does a move and his team goes crazy. And you're thinking in your mind, fuck, this must be the move. This must be the move that he finishes fights with. And he just caught me in it, you know? But you didn't know, you know? That's why I say, like, beating your training partners doesn't make you a fighter. It doesn't. I'm sorry. It makes you a good training partner. It makes you, like, really, like, you're good, like, in a safe environment where there's no pressure. But when the pressure rises, it's totally different. So, yeah, I think I forgot where I was going with that, but yeah, I wanted to say that. Anyways, how are you guys doing? This is a weird time to go live, I've noticed. I went on TikTok live or am I freezing? I could be freezing. Am I freezing? I see a little bit of lag, but not too crazy. But yeah, I went on TikTok live and the live stream was like weird. And then I went on live now. And I think live at night is just better. I think I'm going to go on. You said one move can change everything. Yes, it can. One move can change everything. It just, people don't know, man. Actual fighting and practicing is two different things. And I feel like I'm one of those guys where I'm good in practice, but I'm phenomenal in like when the pressure rises. Like I thrive in chaos. I grew up in an environment where everything was chaotic and you have to think fast. So like I just get alive. Like I feel alive when stuff is happening and it gets chaotic. Like I think ChatGPT, I remember like I did a little self-diagnosis and it told me that the more complex a situation gets, the more I start to see clearer. But if someone breaks it down and makes it simple, then it frustrates me. And it's kind of funny because it called me a systematic scrambler. And I believe that because I was like, that's me. Like if you go against me, at some point I'm thinking, how do I make this shit chaotic so I can catch you slipping? That's why that's like the core thing behind my submission style. How do I make this chaotic for you? And everyone knows what I'm trying to do, but they can't stop it, you know? Because the moment I see you uncomfortable with something, I'm going to go there. Like, that's why I study this game so much, you know? Because I'm like, how do I make it chaotic? Like, how do I study the basics, right? I drill them. I try to embody them. But when it's time to, like, fight, how do I make this crazy? How do I make it uncomfortable for you? So anyways, not freezing. What's up, man? What's good one time? You said, I got a lot of fat, heavy guys in my gym, all inversion chains and escapes I learned from watching you. Ah, yeah. I did something cool the other day. There's a couple of people. I think I want to make a series where I specifically go over escapes. I just people do not know the concept of counterpunching in jiu-jitsu. There's a concept of counterpunching. I do it all the time. Where when someone attacks you, the moment you escape, there's a small window where you could catch them in a submission. It's really small, and you have to practice for it every day. It's a small window. And if I started like talking about it and like drilling it and showing it with people, but just give me time. We're gonna start off with going live first. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna start off with these live streams, and then once we build trust and we have a bigger audience in the live streams, then we'll probably start live streaming, other stuff. But because I hate the content making stuff. It's really annoying. It's irritating. It's fun, but it takes a lot of time. Now I feel better because I just went live. I got to interact with you guys. And I'm like, I think I might go to wrestling practice tonight. If I go to wrestling practice tonight, I'm not going to be on live again. Do you still use pressure points? What do you mean by that? Do I still use pressure points? Like checkpoints? Or are you talking about like Wing Chun pressure points? Like or Chinese pressure points? The Hyuga clan from Naruto, the chakra pressure points. Are you talking about that, or like what are you talking about? Wrestling, nice. What weight class? It's just regular wrestling. It's just a wrestling class. Just a wrestling class. When grappling, you don't need pressure points. You need checkpoints, not pressure points. You said, oh, he said, "Do this isn't kids fight." Yeah. No, you. There's checkpoints, not pressure points. Pressure passing may be there's different types of passing. There's no pressure points in jiu-jitsu. Yeah, there's checkpoints though. That's actually crazy. Look, hold on. Everybody, look, check it out. What he asked, this is why I always have such an open mind. On the surface, what he asked looks very stupid. Follow me here. Don't leave yet. Listen to what I'm about to say. It looks stupid, right? But if you really think about it, he just made me have a profound insight right now that there aren't pressure points, but there's checkpoints. There's checkpoints. Like kind of like a save file, Like if I grab your wrist and you're letting me hold your wrist, that's a checkpoint. I'm not like, you're not going to poke someone, but I grab you, I got a checkpoint, Oh, he stopped my save file. Got the checkpoint right back. You get what I'm saying? Like, so jiu-jitsu doesn't have pressure points. We have checkpoints. I like that. I mean, I've always said checkpoints, but I didn't think of checkpoints like pressure points. I never thought of it like that. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. You said y'all do Granby style. What do you mean by that? Granby style. But I like that. I'm gonna say like I like that concept. That like you just conceptually flipped it for me. There's checkpoints. So we don't have pressure points. We have checkpoints. Maybe in Chinese martial arts they talk about pressure points, but in jiu-jitsu, checkpoints. If I grab you in the back of the head, I have a checkpoint. If I grab your wrist, I have a checkpoint. You even submissions, there's checkpoints. Like in every submission that you do, there's a point where you can hold them and you're going to have to fight against resistance. But you holding them is a checkpoint. Oh, that makes it easier for me to teach because then I can tell people, because I never understood. I always told people that you're going to meet resistance. So when I teach people things, I usually tell them like, when you get to this point, I always would say that when you get to this point, you're going to meet resistance, right? Where you have to figure out how to finish the submission through resistance. But now I'm going to tell people when you get to a checkpoint. So like if you're going against someone, let's say you want to do an arm drag. For those who don't know what an arm drag is, you grab their wrist, you take your hand up under their armpit, you pass their body past you, and you take their back, right? Or you could take them down. But when you grab people's wrists, not everybody just sits there. If they're smart and they're just gonna let you hold their wrist, they're gonna give you some resistance. But if you understand that holding the wrist is a checkpoint, because some people like you grab their wrist and they smack you away. You're like, oh, it doesn't work. No, you grab their wrist, they're gonna give you some resistance. That's a checkpoint to getting to the desired outcome that you want. So in jiu-jitsu, before you have success, you have to get to a checkpoint, and at that checkpoint, you need to be very well versed with the resistance that you're going to get the desired outcome that you want. Boom. There we go. Thank you for that. You said Granby, just a style of wrestling my high school used. I mean, we have Granby rolls, but Granby style, no, not really. Like we do Granby rolls, but not, you know. I always Granby though. Like if you get to my back, I'm rolling. Up, immediately. Up, immediately. Boop, immediately. You ain't catching me slipping. You ain't taking my boom. It's over. I like that. Did I write that down? We might talk about that tonight. I think I'm gonna reiterate that. Checkpoints, not pressure points in versus Chinese arts. Thank you for that. You said Granby is a move. No, I know about the Granby roll, but like he said Granby style. And there's this dude named I forgot his name. He has a whole instructional of Granbys, and so you could actually develop a Granby style, like where like every time someone gets you, like they do a go behind, like there's a whole world of how to roll out of a situation. There's a whole world to it. But I don't know, Granby style. Anyways, let me continue. Sorry guys. That y'all see how my mind works? Like I'll play with what you talk about. If you actually have something interesting, I'll play with it in my mind to see like if there's something that I could take out of it. How is you guys' mental health? I was asking that on my TikTok live. Gotta make sure. Mental health check-in. Mental health check-in. I was talking about I need to, you know what? I'm gonna start keeping these. Like these little these I'm having notes here. Pretty bad. What's been going on with you? Let me know. I think the more we talk about it, like I heard rumination. I think I'm saying it correctly. Rumination is when you repeat something in your mind. Or no, I heard when you vent. But that was like a little no, not TikTok. It was an Instagram post. I don't know if that was real. It said when you vent, you actually increase rumination, which is the process of repeating the same thought process over and over. It's like bad to vent. And I was like, I don't believe that's true. Yeah, I was like, I don't believe that's true. I think like talking it out really helps out. You say MMA saved me. I come from a broken home. I think a lot of people come from broken homes. I come from a broken home. You know, that's not to invalidate your emotional experience. But I'm saying you're not alone with that one. But MMA saved you. Could I say martial arts saved me? I think martial arts made like, so for me, let's talk about that. For me, I feel like all my life, I would come up with ideas, right? And I would be invalidated too. Like, it was like I was definitely like growing up as a people pleaser. That's how I'm very attentive to the way people, like I can see things, you know? Because I used to be a big people pleaser. But when I started doing martial arts, it showed me that the way I see reality is actually correct. That's what martial arts taught me. So then I stopped caring about what other people was thinking, and I started focusing on what I know, you know? Because I know that if I'm by myself and I'm doing whatever I'm doing, because I've constantly, like, fighting is one of those things where you're grounded in reality. It's either you're gonna win or you're gonna lose. You got knocked the fuck out or you knock someone else the fuck out. That's fighting. But and fighting is the last bit of piece of real reality that we have. And the fact that I can resonate with a lot of people, not that I'm good, that I resonate with a lot of people that of a sport that's bounded in reality, it's helped me gain confidence. So it's not just that. I think, but the sad part about fighting is we try to emotionally regulate through fighting. And that's not what fighting is for. It's not what it's for. That's why I ask you guys, how's your mental health? Because I believe communication is also a martial art. You get what I'm saying? Like, you have to talk about it. Because if you go to the gym and you just fight it out, yeah, you, like, your body, because the body keeps the score. If you guys don't know what that is, trauma that happens to your body remembers that. I think martial arts heals the physical trauma that happens to your body, but your mind hasn't been healed. You're still thinking about that. So you need to go talk about that, So anyways, let me read some. You said, like, reliving the same moment instead of moving past it. What do you mean by that? Can you reiterate a little bit more on that? You say just go do more jiu-jitsu and it'll take your mind off the BS. Yeah, it will. But that's just your body being healed, Like when guys tell each other, see, it's kind of interesting. Like, guys say, when you're trying to get over a breakup, they say go to the gym, which is kind of true. But you need, and they say get more money. I say, someone said get more paper, get more coochie, and get more money. That's how you get over your girl, right? But I say more money, more muscles, and more mental. You gotta, you need to do something. You wanna know something crazy I recently just realized? I think everyone says that men are not emotionally intelligent. I've been thinking about this real tough. I think men are actually way more emotionally intelligent than people give us credit for. We're just not as emotionally intense. That's what I feel. We're not emotionally intense, but we're intelligent. We hold a lot of stuff back, right? But I've learned the reason why, what was I going with that? I've learned the best thing for men is if you feel something, right? The only way you could really explain yourself is when you do something. Our motion. Men should emotionally regulate through motion. Okay? What do I mean by that? So when you go to the gym, right? And you start moving around, you have learned how to talk it out through your body, right? But there's still things like, for example, I do music, I do poetry, I draw, right? So if I feel like I want to explain something visually, going on like women do, nothing against women, but going on like women do, and they say, I see something and I feel something about this, and this is the way I see it. Like, no one wants to hear that from a man. If you want to talk about your feelings, go write poetry as a man. I think it hits different. It hits way different. You want to feel something, talk about, like, if you want to talk about it, you should talk. You show, don't tell. That's what I'm trying to say. Show, don't tell. That's the best way for men to express our emotional intensity. Because I think men today, we do not know how to, we have intelligence emotionally, but we don't have expression of emotional intensity. And I think that's why the self-deletion rates are so high with men, because we haven't figured out that no one cares about our opinion unless we're providing something. Like, some men know that, but they think like, oh, like, I don't have nothing to give in this world. No, you have a lot. No one wants to hear you explain it. They want you to express it. Don't talk about it. Do it. Show it. And you'll get your point across. So if you feel like maybe no one's not hearing you in this world, study communication skills, right? Not, study how to express yourself better. And through expression, that motion that you develop, you become magnetic. This is something I figured out. When I vent, I breathe better. I'm destructive, holding on. Yeah, real talk, real talk. When you talked about venting and talking about mental health, some believe always talking about their problems feed more life into them. I think what I think what that really was saying is if you sit back and you're just talking about your problems and you're not doing nothing about it, that's a problem. If we just sit here every day and we talk, and I tell you guys, I come from a broken home, right? And I couldn't do this, I couldn't do that. Like at first, like y'all gonna feel me, but my dude, what you gonna do about that? There was one of the most powerful things that I read that really changed my perspective on everything. It was a quote online, and it was like, okay, like you had a hard life. You're a grown ass adult now. Fix that. Like suck it up. It sounds cruel, but think about it like this. When we were young as kids, like we didn't have autonomy. But the older you get, right? You now are that adult, right? You're still that kid, but now it's like two sides of you. So you as that adult, now you are in the driver's seat. So whatever you felt like you didn't have, give that to yourself. Like you at some point have to iron out those bad habits yourself, you know, and clean it up. I just felt like it sounds so simple, but if you guys got to look at the perspective as you're the adult now, right? You're still a kid inside. I think I like what Pablo Picasso said. Like everyone is still. I'm paraphrasing it. He's like everyone's still a kid, but you have to hold that. You have to protect that energy, right? Like on TikTok, there's this trend that's going on. I love that trend. It shows like a child spinning on a Ferris wheel. Like it shows like the child, and then it goes to the adult, right? Or the person that child, like it'll be the person's little kid self, and then it shows their adult version self. It's like an AI video. But I freaking love that video because that child is still alive within us. You got to protect it and you got to nurture that child, you know? And that's really where our problems lie because that child felt unseen. But now you're that adult who sees them. So you need to fix that. Adopt that kid. Protect that kid, you know? And then you'll see your life grow. That's something that I've been, like I tell myself that all the time. I'm 30 years old. Like some people, like most youngins, they call me old, but people tell me like, "Oh, you don't look old, right? You don't look 30." I've seen some 30-year-olds that look like they 50. I'm like, ooh, like, you know, but it's all mentality, you know. It's all mentality. Take care one time. So got to go have a good one. Yeah, I needed to hear this, and it's not easy but very productive. Yeah. That's why you know something crazy. That's why I have a deep love for Chat GPT. I'm hearing that some of these guys, they're falling in love with their chat bots. And we're gonna move for a second. I want to go get my Red Bull. I'm hearing these guys are falling in love with their chat bots, right? Now, I'm not gonna fall in love with my damn chat bot. Fuck no. But I have a deep love for Chat GPT because Chat GPT puts so many things in perspective that I've never thought about before. Here we go. You know, you said watch in Iran. What's happening in Iran? What's happening in Iran? That's why, and I was explaining this last night. I said that's why, like, I started learning how to code. Like I'm like right now, as we speak, I'm learning coding right now because I think that where we're going with this artificial intelligence stuff, I think it's important to correct that. There we go. I think it's very important to be able to I think in the future it's gonna be subscriptions to have like certain like robots and stuff, like certain personalities. I think that's what's coming in the future for like artificial intelligence. People are gonna pay for personalities because we're gonna be craving connection that bad. And to me, my experience of what I've been learning with my chatbot, right? Um, I know it sounds really weird, but this is gonna be a normal topic in like 10 years. Mark my words. It's gonna be a normal topic. But I would like to craft a certain chatbot that that's not in love with me, but that keeps me accountable and helps me strategize. That's kind of where I'm going. You said, man, I didn't know how much I need to hear this. I really only see your channel from training perspective. Appreciate you, appreciate you. This is why I want to go live because I have been trying my best to, like, at first on my like long form content, I've been trying to drift things into talking about like nutrition or like art, music, poetry, but it was Chat GPT. I always like brainstorm. I love brainstorming. I'm not the type person where I like live and die and I need an answer from like AI. But I was like, I explained the problem and it was like, why don't you just go live? Why don't you just talk to people? If that's what you want to do, why don't you just do that? And I don't know why it was like, duh, you know? So here I am talking to you guys. I didn't realize the power of my voice. That sounds so narcissistic. I've been reading this book. Ooh, someone asked me that earlier. They asked me, they said, what books do I recommend? It depends. It depends on your genre. Like, lately I've been reading 2 books. One book is called Attached, where it talks about attachment styles. And the other book is called Detached, where it talks about detaching from, woo, that is a cool weed. Let me talk about that one. I'm going to have to think really hard while I talk to you guys about this concept I came up with. Because I've been studying about detached. Oh, how did I come up with it? Oh my gosh. It was, so what basically, let me explain. So we all have certain attachment styles in our identity that comes from childhood. Now, in the book Attached, they talk about 3 different types of attachments. You have a secure attachment. That's the one where someone's secure within themselves. You have an anxious attachment where someone gets anxious in a relationship and they constantly want reassurance. And then you have an avoidant attachment style where someone doesn't, like, they want closeness, but they don't want to be too close, right? So a chick I was dealing with, she was in avoidant attachment style, and I was the anxious one, you know? And I never knew nothing about these attachment styles, right? I study psychology all the time. I study it all the time. And I'm such a nerd mentally. But when I figured out the attachment styles, everything started changing for me, right? And then I came across this book called Detached, right? And it blew my mind when I started studying this. Smitty, why the hell are you telling us all this? Because this is going to go into forever, whoever hears this. You, you must fall in love with the process. Everyone says this, but no one really explains this. Because I'm learning this right now. All of suffering, this this is, like, I understand Buddhism in a way now. All of your wants, your expectations, your desires lead to suffering. But Buddhism says, get rid of all that. You know, they like leave it, like let it go. But I have figured out really what they're saying. They're saying that you need to let go of the desire of wanting an outcome and fall in love with your motion, the process of something. Think about this. It blew my mind when I thought about this. We're gonna get religious for a second. I see your comment, but I don't want to lose my thoughts. So give me a second. like man is built to create and move. Okay, if you could take out the religious stuff, I don't care, but we are, as creatures of masculine energy, we're supposed to move and do things, right? This world is only interested when we're doing something, right? And it sounds bad, it sounds terrible, but when you really think about it, right, that sun that's up there is doing exactly that. Like, the sun is probably alive, right? We're not even thinking about it, right? But the sun just does it. It's in love with the process. And I found out that different stars, different suns have stronger gravitational pulls, right? Not all stars are equal, right? The sun, you, man, sun. You get what I'm saying? Not all suns are equal. So when you sit back and you lock in, right? And you work on your motion, you start building gravity and things start to come towards you and circle around you, right? So you might start off as a sun and you need to work on like, once you figure out and fall in love with the process and stop caring about the outcome, you're just doing. When people ask why you do it, I do it because I do it. What the fuck does that mean? Why does the sun rise? Really think about it. Oh, no. Why does the sun rise? We don't know. It just rises. It just does. It just creates. It just moves. That's how you have to be. All of your desires, the sun doesn't wake up. It doesn't move around, right? And mopes about the fact nobody wants him, right? He just does. And now you have an earth moving around. That's how you should be. That's what we were created for. Stop caring about the outcomes, care about the process. Because when you care about the process and you love it, and you're in love with the process, you will get the desired outcomes that you want. That's what Buddhism is talking about. All suffering, everything is happening to you when you hold on to the past and you're anxious about the future, is because you're not in love with what you're doing right now. And I want to talk about lust. I'm gonna start breaking that down. Lust. Like, some guys have some guys have fapping problems. They jerk off too much and stuff like that, right? And I've been studying the demon of lust, or like the vice of lust, for a while. And I ran across like a comment that said that boredom is what creates lust. That blew my mind. And it made me, and I haven't really looked into it yet, but I think each vice has an equation to what causes it. So, if I'm gonna wait one day when I get a little bit bigger and I have like way more like views and stuff, and I have much younger kids. If you have lustful problems, it's because you're bored. I figured that out. If you're sitting back and you're like, oh man, I want to do this, or I want to do that, or I want to go watch this, or I want to do that, it's because you're bored. You're just bored. So, like, that's it. You're not lonely. Like, if you're not lonely, you're not horny, you're bored. That's really what it is. And now every time when I sit back and I'm thinking about, like, I see like some like pretty chick or something, I want to get at her or something, or like, because I know how to talk to women, but like, or this is even better. I'm online and I see some chick like bent over or something, right? This is not no, I am better than this. No, I just look at it and I'm like, damn, she look good. Now, if I find myself looking too much, I realize what stopped me from doing it. You're bored. You're bored. You're bored. That's the problem. That will clean up all these dudes, these simps, and whatever you want to call. They're just bored. That's it. They're fucking bored. That's why they throw money at these girls and stuff. They're bored. So next time you sit back and you find yourself lustful, literally tell yourself, just try it. Like really like step out, get introspective and look at yourself. Are you bored? Trust me. I promise you. I promise you it's going to change the game for you. It's going to change the game for you. You're bored. A lustful man is a bored man. That's the problem. Oh my God. When I tell you, I like, oh man. Now, when I like, cause boredom actually puts you in a lot of trouble too. It's not just like lust. I believe I remember some people say like lust is a man's final demon, right? Like lust is a man's final demon. And I think like if you look back at the story of Adam and Eve, right? You know, like Eve was the first one to bit the apple, right? And then Adam bit the apple too. If Adam had shit to do, he wouldn't have bit that apple. If Adam had shit to do, he'd be like, you fucked up. I'm going to leave you alone. I got some shit to do. If Adam was moving like that damn sun, I got clockwork stuff to do. I'm going to leave you by yourself. I got stuff to do. We wouldn't have these problems. You see, I got to head out, but all right, man. I'm probably going to be in here later today. I want to go live later. Usually the live streams be cracking at night, but I had time, so I was like, let me hop on. I'm going to be off in 10 minutes anyway, so I can go to jiu-jitsu. You said nobody likes hearing the truth? Yeah. Nobody, but this is good for all my young men. If you're listening to this, if you're about to get in trouble, if someone's asking you to hop into trouble, sorry if you guys see me moving around, like I was sparring and stuff, and I'm trying to pop my back and stuff. That the sad nature of the fighter. But anyways, if you find yourself someone's trying to invite you to trouble, because lust is trouble too. If you find yourself looking at a girl like online, chronically looking at women like that you will never date. Like looking at a girl that you potentially are going to be dating is one thing, but looking at women you'll never get your thank you. Looking at women that you'll never get to have, it's because you're bored. Go do something. You have a purpose. There's something special about you that you're supposed to be doing. Anyways, yeah, I went too deep. I'm sorry. Sometimes that's what I want to do, though. I need some ignorant people to come in here too. I like going. I think when you're too smart about something, I think it makes you rigid. So I also think intelligence, like too much intelligence, makes you rigid. So that's why sometimes some people come in here and they say some ignorant stuff. Like pay attention to me. Anybody who continuously watches my lives, when someone comes in here and they say something stupid, watch my face. It lights up because like that energy. Like I need that energy. You cannot be too smart. You cannot be too dumb. You know. There's a philosophy called absurdity. One of my favorite philosophies. It's one of my favorite philosophies, absurdity. Because I believe, like someone literally, like speaking of that, someone just a few minutes ago, they said, oh, are there pressure points in jiu-jitsu? No, there's no fucking pressure points. And then you could be like, oh, you're dumb. But then I started thinking about it. I was like, there's checkpoints. Holy shit. You know, like, so... Yeah, you like I don't know, man. That because that's like the feminine paradox too. Like I think if men are so logical, I do think if we didn't have women, we'll still be in like caves. We'll still be in caves if it wasn't for women. They were just so illogical. You get what I'm saying? Like here we are on live stream. Because the power of P. I'm ignorant. Anyways, but yeah, any questions? Because we got like oh yeah, we got like approximately 15 minutes, I think. And then I'm get dressed. I gotta charge my phone too. I'm gonna go to jujitsu. I think I'm gonna post some. I wanna be online later tonight. That's if I don't have to coach. I need to take my ass to wrestling in general. I've been studying clinching heavily lately. Thank you. Thank you. I'm gonna butcher your name. I'm not gonna say your name. You said great insight. Thank you. Oh man, what else do I have? I mean, I got a bunch of topics, but I'm gonna save these topics for later. I'm gonna save them for later or next live. Because I would like to reiterate these topics and go deeper. But if you guys have anything else to say, I'll add to that, or I can just hop off and take a nap, like a 10 minute. Ooh, that's interesting. I've been last time before I took another break off of live. We were talking about the nervous system, and I believe that we we do not understand the nervous system enough. So, like, I was just about to say, like, if no one's gonna be talking, I'm not trying to pressure you guys into talking, but this is what I was going to, but I want to explain the science behind it. I was gonna say, like, oh, if no one's talking, I'm gonna go take like a 5 minute nap or a 10 minute nap, right? And someone I know it's probably like a young kid, they're like, what the hell does that do, right? But your nervous system, everything you do, when you move around, you look, it's constantly under stress. So when you go lay down and close your eyes and don't move, right? What ends up happening is that allows your nervous system to reset, which allowed me to understand what was the true. I'm writing it down. The nervous system and meditation. That's the true, that right there is the true point of meditation. It's nervous system regulation. I figured that out, but no one says that. It's nervous system regulation. So when I go sit down, people's like, "Oh, you like naps?" Yes, because back to the book Attached. I'm an anxious attachment style. So I'm very fixated. My nervous system is very fixated. It's very overstimulated. So I have to go regulate it by sitting somewhere STFU and not moving, not saying nothing. That's how you massage your nervous system. And that's sometimes, like, you might think you're tired, but it's just your nervous system that needs to be regulated. It just needs to be reset. If you sit down for 15 minutes, try it. I want all of you guys to try it. When you get a chance, if you have like a 15-minute window, sit down, right? And just lay there for 15 minutes. Don't move a muscle. Keep your eyes closed. You don't have to fall asleep. Even just sitting there. And watch how you feel when you get up. And you'll be surprised how much your nervous system made you feel so tired and sluggish. Can you please give me a routine that helped me get jacked? I plan on training jiu-jitsu 3 times. And woo, good luck with that one. It's hard. It's hard. So hard to lift weights and do martial arts. You should start looking into calisthenics. That's my advice. For that one lifting calisthenics day, okay. So you like pick one thing, okay? Like, well, I would do a full body. If you're gonna do lifting once a week, do a full body calisthenic routine. Do that. And I would say really all you need, you know what? I like that we're talking about this because I am gonna do this myself. That's such a great fucking question, my guy. I'm gonna do this now. So now you're like, I'm gonna do this, but I'm gonna give it to you guys. Because I have problems with lifting in martial arts, But I do have at least one day out of the week. If you do a full body calisthenic routine, like ideally for me, I'm not telling you guys to do it. You got to figure that out yourself. It's your body. Idealistically, I would like to do 50 pull-ups. Why? Why pull-ups? That's all your chokes. All of your chokes comes from pull-ups. Push-ups also because you need proper stabilization. You don't really need dips, but I think because you're doing pull-ups, you could do dips. I mean, well, no, because that's triceps. So push-ups do that. I think pistol squats or like air squats. I think that's really good. I think that's really perfect for martial arts. Like all of your striking comes from the springiness of your knees. And then jump rope is huge too. You have to jump rope. I live and die by jump rope. And then what else? And then ab crunches, toes to bar. So hang from a bar, bring your toes to the bar. That's all you need. That's it. And then do hanging windshield wipers too to get your obliques. That's it. That's all you need. What else? Yeah, that's all you need. You can lift some weights too if you want to, but like calisthenics wise, where you feel like you have farmer strength, yeah, that's all you need. That's crazy. Damn. Okay. You said, appreciate my God. Thank you. I'm going to be working 60 hours a week and just moved out. So trying to find a good routine. Calisthenics, trust me, you're going to feel strong as shit. Trust me when I tell you that. If you get really good at what I just said, like pull-ups for your chokes, push-ups for your frames. If you do want to lift weights, like some type of pushing, not bench press, incline. Overhead press is good too if you want to lift weights. But for martial arts, you need like a non-negotiable. Non-negotiable is your abs. Non-negotiable. I don't care what you want to do. And also if you're in jiu-jitsu, non-negotiable, you need to start doing different leg exercises for your knee. Like different squats. Non-negotiable if you're doing jiu-jitsu. Because everyone twists your knees in so many different directions. And you need to strengthen the stabilizer muscles. Because when your knee gets fucked up, oh my gosh. It's going to be like that forever. Forever. It's terrible. It won't heal. It's annoying. I studied the knee too. Because there's like a small amount of blood that goes through there. So you have to do Cossack squats, pistol squats, it's all types of stuff. Lunges. You said body roll. Yes, body rolls. Yes, if you're doing like striking, because if you just do pull-ups, right? When I get into, I wish I had, because I have a skull, but I was gonna buy the rest of the body. Like I'm gonna have like an anatomy one day. Like I want to show you guys. But when you do pull-ups, it's only the top of your body. The lower part of your body is rows, vented rows. Bruce Lee was amazing at those. That's why he had that crazy lat spread. And like Bruce Lee lived and died by Bente rows. But I think Bruce Lee's problem was he overtrained. Like Bruce Lee had back problems because he overtrained. He didn't have the science of recovery. He had the science of working out. And then he basically died by a headache. So rest also is something that you need. I've been doing jiu-jitsu 3 times a week and lifting twice. But I'm burnt out from the routine, do the work. You just need 1 week of lifting. You just need 1 week. Make that but was you lifting before or after martial arts? When you did your martial arts 3 times a week, because there's a pro and con to that. If you can do your martial arts during the week and then lift weights right after, not after, do your 3 times a day and do that 1 session after you're done for the rest of the week. If you can do that, I think that's just the ideal way, because when you lift weights and then you try to train martial arts, you're way too sore and you're more prone for injury. You're way more prone for injury. So, um, if you did martial arts and then went to complete failure in your lifting session, now you have enough time to be able to heal. So it depends. Just keep in mind when you lift your weights and then you go to martial arts, lifting messes with your body. So, good question, man. Good question. That was a great question. That was a beautiful question. Sorry if I'm coughing in you guys' ears. I just came from the flu. Just got off it. I couldn't even talk. I could barely talk, and I had like this ringing headache. I heard over here in California, um, people are saying like every people's getting pneumonia or something. Like the weather's been changing and stuff. It's been raining like crazy. So maybe that's what I had. Like I was bedridden for like days. I couldn't talk. And then I had other emotional bullshit that was happening. Meanwhile, while I was sick. So yeah. All right, we got like 4 minutes left. I need to start but whatever. I'll figure that out. Maybe this was gonna be what I'm gonna be talking about. What was we just talking about? Nah, let's see, nervous system and meditation. I like that question. I don't know if I'll authentically be able to bring it up the next live though. It was such a great question. And you got like you caught me in the correct time for me to really break that down. Because people ask me that all the time. And I like if you saw like how long I had to really talk about that, that's why like it's just not good enough to explain in a comment section. And then it's like a repeated question, but like I get tired of explaining that. And it's free too. The knowledge is free, and I'm not charging nobody. So, it's what it is. That sounds so money hungry. Well, you need your money. You need money. Anyways, any more questions? We got like 3 minutes. And it's funny, usually the night crowd, they're so funny. I love the night crowd. I'm gonna tell y'all why. Because they know, like I'll be like, oh, we're gonna get off at this time, right? And they know if they ask me a good question, it'll turn from like it was supposed to be an hour to like an hour and 30 or 2 hours. It's so funny. They get me going. But I don't think it's gonna be like that because it's 12:05 over here, and I am going to I got jujitsu, and I want to sit down for five. I want to meditate for 5 minutes too. Uh, what else? You guys are coming in. Thank you guys. Thank you for all the guys that are actually sitting in here listening to me. I big appreciate y'all. I don't know what's so interesting about me, but I appreciate y'all from the bottom of my heart. I it's kind of funny. I practice. I'm so gratuitous. Like some people, they just expect. Like I'm happy for like I'm happy because if that makes sense. I've been praying a lot, at least recently, and I always that's one of like my biggest prayers that I always say. Like don't let me miss the purpose I was created for. Like that's how gratuitous I feel. Like I feel like everyone has a purpose that they're supposed to do in this life, and I don't want to miss whatever the boat I was sailed for. I don't want to miss it. Like whatever I was supposed to do to give to the world, I don't want to miss that. Because life is beautiful, and everybody has a good soul to give. He said, "You are a great teacher." Thank you. Appreciate you, man. Big appreciate you. I'm gonna try to hop on live tonight. That's not a promise. It's not a promise. 'Cause if I don't go to wrestling tonight, I'll probably try to hop on live again, and we're gonna talk some good stuff. I have first I so what I've been doing is I go on TikTok live, I get a bunch of like topics to talk about, and then I'm gonna come over here and talk to you guys. But I have a bunch of good topics that we can talk about. But it's been 60 minutes and I am about to hop off. Do you guys have one last thing that you have to say? I'm gonna give you guys like one extra minute. Let me see. Anything else? One last thing. Yeah, I could probably turn it to 15 extra minutes, but let me see. Once that hits 61, I'm about to hop off. Hope you guys have a good day. You never know. We might not be able to talk to each other ever again. You never know. So make sure you're very aware today as martial artists. I think awareness is the number one thing that you need. So be very careful. Be very careful. So we can talk again, and I can sit back and y'all can listen to my crazy yaps where I go from talking about what was we talking about? Lust to how to get better jujitsu skills. All right. Back on live again. Yes, Rob. I'm gonna try to be we're just getting done, but I'm gonna try again on live later if I don't go to wrestling. So you guys take care and I love you guys. Be safe.